Okay, guys, yesterday we discussed about what is an operating system. Very simple. What is an operating system? Operating system is a software or a program which outlook interface between a user and computer hardware. You want to work with your you have to work with your computer hardware. So we need an operating system to run your application, to interact with your computer, to give instructions, right? Anything you want to do it, so we do it on your user interface only. So we don't know what language, what kind of instructions should give it to your main computer because it is given by our operating system only. Our operating system is two parts mainly in the architecture, the kernel and shell. So shell interacts with the hardware, shell interact with the user. Shell provide a user interface, shell provide a user interface and provide the environment to run user applications. Shall understand user requirements or user input and convert into kernel understandable language and which is can give it to directly the hardware. So hardware runs like a CPU, RAM, everything runs and to display output on the screen or to certain things will do. It is we can see on the shell interface. Different type of user interfaces. One is the CLI command line interface, GUI graphical user interface, TUI text based interface. Different type of operating system SOS, NOS. Simple operating system, network operating system. Simple operating system means desktop operating system. Network operating system means server operating system. Okay. So here it is another type of operating system like a single user, single task, single user multitask, multi-user, multitask. Single user, single task like a DAS, only one user, one task at a time. Single user multitask, only one user can log in at a time, but multiple tasks he can able to do. Multi-user multitask is Unix and Linux. So not only these guys, different type of operating system like a mobile operating system, real-time operating systems, distributed operating systems, distributed application related is there, no? The distributed operating system is also there. And when we say SOS, NOS, desktop operating system, like a Windows 10 operating system, Windows 11 operating system, Windows XP operating system. What is the use to playing games? Client device it is, user end device. Okay, to access like we run an applications, we play games, we do data processing, programming, web browsing, multimedia. So it is a multiple purpose thing. Okay. Server operating system like Windows servers, Linux servers, Unix servers. Server operating system by installing a package or an application or a built-in feature. So the server operating system provide a services. So in a server operating system is server operating system only by installing certain feature, built-in feature or a role or by some package or an application by installing in server operating system machine, it is able to provide a service. A service. What kind of service it is? Type of servers, DHCP server, DNS server, VPN server, web server, file server, mail server, authentication servers, proxy server, remote desktop server, deployment server, database server. These are the next. So already we discussed difference between Windows and Linux based operating system, guys. Windows operating system is whole proprietary of Windows, means Microsoft only. It is not a open source, so you cannot able to access the source code of Windows operating system. You don't have any rights. You should not manipulate the source code of. You cannot take and develop your own operating system kind of stuff. Not happen with the Microsoft Windows operating systems. Whereas the Linux is a open source, means source code of Linux operating system is available to everyone. So you can go to kernel.org, there you'll find your Linux kernel. You can download and develop your own Linux operating system and you can distribute it to anyone. It is not a proprietary of any organization, but it is developed by Linus Torvald. Linus Torvald also developed the Git. Okay, Git, that is also the powerful. So Windows is basically Windows means window. There is a joke like what is Bill Gates Windows operating system? Instead of Gates, why he put a window? Window means this is the window. So this is the window. This is the window. Because of this, call this one as a Windows. Windows. Okay, multiple windows. So basically a graphical user interfaces, right? Plus CLI usage, more GUI, more powerful GUI. We do everything with a graphical user interface. That's why it is more easy than Linux management. Of course, but easy in the one certain point. Powerful CLI in Linux and Unix, basically, it is a powerful CLI. Maximum things we do in a CLI based on very less GUI. That to GUI is a mainly direct single screen only GUI. Okay. So Windows is a single user multitask. Linux is a multi-user multitask. In Windows, we have a single distribution of Windows operating system, which is done by Microsoft, like Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows Server 2018, 2019, 2016, like that. This is a distributions that came from the Microsoft only. Here it is lot of different distributions from different resources, different organizations, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Debian, Fedora kind of stuff. Mostly Windows, not case sensitive. Linux, whatever it is, either commands or a data, it is a case sensitive. Okay, so in Windows, you want to use any Windows operating system, generally it is licensed. You have to pay for licenses. Linux is a mostly it is a free licensing. Mostly it is free licensing one. It is license is free by GPL version 2 and GNU kinds. Of course, Windows is cannot say virus effect is more, but in a Linux, we can say the Windows based viruses like a self-executable thing .exe, Win32 executable things cannot be run in a Linux. So that's what it is. Linux is mostly virus free, but mainly cannot say like that, but mostly it is non-self executable kind of stuff. Like you click on a link is connected to some app and it is that small package, download, install, or maybe some runs in the background kind of stuff will happens. But in Linux, we don't have that kind of stuff. Okay, that kind of directly automatically extracted and connected. Maybe there, but still not be there. Okay, so what's it is? So in Windows, we have desktop voice, server voice, separate voice are there. In Linux, we have a server voice. So desktop voices are very less, like a Ubuntu desktop, Mint desktop. So desktop based Linux are very less, but mainly most of the Linux operating system, Unix operating system are server based operating system only. Of course, Windows is user friendly, but Linux, you want to use a Linux, you need a trained professional. In Windows operating system, we have a administrator, and that administrator can administrate entire your PC. Like sorry, first user of a computer generally is an administrator. General, that's we have an administrator. Admin account is there. A user can be administrator or administrator is an administrator. But in Linux, root user is there. He is an original administrator. All are just temporary administrator. Windows to run a Windows operating system, you require a more hardware footprint, means more RAM capacity, more processor capacity. because it's a mainly GUI based, means more hardware requirement is there. They require more hardware footprint. The Linux is a less hardware footprint. Why? Because of Linux is basically CLI based, poor GUI type, means not required more graphical memory to run the Linux machine. So we can use less RAM, less processor consumption only it will run. Okay. For example, you have a two computers, 4 GB RAM, i3 processor, 4 GB RAM, and 100 GB hard disk. Okay. Two computers. So you install Windows 10 in one PC and so another PC Linux 7. So if you see the performance compared to Linux is better performance. In Linux also different modes are there. Based on that also more performance, less performance is also. Okay guys, this is what we discussed about a operating system yesterday. Anything? Okay, next we discuss about Windows 10. Windows 10 feature guys. Windows 10 features. Start screen, start menu. OneDrive, Cortana. You can see there. OneDrive, Cortana, Microsoft Store, Microsoft Edge, Wi-Fi hotspot, tablet mode, Windows Hello feature, task view, virtual desktop, Windows platform means universal Windows platform, consolidated settings, reset and advanced startup, and Hyper-V. Why I put a Hyper-V in last, guys? Because Windows having a three editions, mainly Home Edition, Pro Edition, Enterprise Edition. In Home Edition, you don't find Hyper-V. So that's why I put a Hyper-V in ending. The two Hyper-V is introduced in Windows 8 and it is also in the Windows 10. But in required Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise Edition, not in a Home Edition. But remaining are available in all kind of editions, all three editions. Okay. So Home Edition, Pro Edition, Enterprise Edition. Okay. So Home Edition does not have few things like a Hyper-V, local group policy, BitLocker. We cannot join our EC2 domain also. Windows 10 minimum requirement. You want to install a Windows 10 in a PC, then you can type in a Google minimum requirement to install a Windows 10. So minimum requirement 1 gigahertz or a faster or a source. For example, Raspberry Pi is a 1 gigahertz processor. I think more than that. Then if you are using a 32-bit processor and 32-bit operating system, 1 GB minimum RAM is required. If it is a 64-bit processor and 64-bit OS, 2 GB RAM is minimum is required. If you are using a 32-bit processor, 32-bit operating system, means it is 16 GB of free disk space is required and 20 GB for 64-bit processor or operating system. Both must be same. Processor and operating system must be same. A graphic card and display, even a small display like 800 and 600 also it will. You can upgrade from lower version to higher version like a Windows to Windows 10 we can easily upgrade. And upgrade means upgrading from lower version to higher version. Migrating means moving from one system to another system or moving to same system again. Like a, you clean up entire system, backup, clean up, install, restore, migration. And activation, once you have a once you purchase an need an activation, then you purchase an operating system, you will get a key, enter the key, then automatically your OS is activated. So then all the features of operating system will enable and it confirms that is you are using genuine product. OEM, you purchase a laptop with operating system or a desktop with operating system directly, means you got a Your voice is installed by manufacturing of the device and license will be inside. So if you want to replace the operating system, so you have to replace with the same operating system with same edition only. Like you have Windows 10 Home, you want to replace it, you can replace with the Windows 10 Home. So then it will automatically activate. So Microsoft volume licensing. Microsoft volume licensing. It's what is the volume licensing? If in case in your organization there are using a Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise, okay, for employees, number of employees are higher, to license each and every device from central device based on their authentication, users, names, or like that. So it is a volume bundle of licenses which is purchased from the Microsoft. Okay, so we can give like this is the architecture, guys. So operating system kernel already I told it is interact with the hardware. In our your hardware, you have a different component like a CPU, RAM, CMOS battery, CMOS chipset, audio chipset, video chipsets. If you are connect another hardware device, your operating system is trying to communicate with one, understand it, is giving data, taking data, processing like that. So sometimes certain devices you may not find a understanding of the device. So then we have to find a device drivers for particular device and install them so an operating system easily able to. That is the main thing. To run an application, the required environment is there. For example, you want to run an application like a Java application, need a Java runtime environment. Same way as you want to run a .NET based application, we need a .NET framework. Want to a regular Win32 based application Win32 environment. But Windows Store apps runs on a Windows RT APIs. These are the system configuration part, guys. You know already how to find system configuration. All information you can get it from MS Info 32 about your processor, operating system, your RAM, and your hard disk also. You can go to DXDiag to find a system configuration, type DXDiag. So you will find your operating system of your processor, your RAM, and your um, graphic information, graphic related information also in DXDiag. Also, you can go to settings, system, about, where you will find your system configuration about your operating system and your RAM and operating system version, your processor. Better is go to task manager. So in task manager, you can find CPU, memory, and hard disk in both original values and available values also. Okay, so that is the main point. Here it is, I have written about a disk management. Of course, we seen what is a disk management, how to create a partition, how to shrink volume. That is already a shown. Guys, these are Microsoft consoles .mscs. Disk mgmt.msc, comp mgmt.msc, event vwr.msc, services.msc, dev mgmt.msc, gpedit.msc. Okay, so like certain things are control panel related, like avis.cpl means it will open programs and features. ncpa.cpl directly it will open network connections. Firewall.cpl will open directly Windows Defender firewall. So you want to go to each and every step. Like you want to open Windows different firewall, go to control panel. So search where it is Windows Defender firewall. You have to open it. Okay. Or you can go to click on search button. Let's find it as but knowing the little shortcuts will help you always. This is about a registry part. So we'll see what is the registry and what is the services onwards. Just take a 10 minutes break. I am getting sleep. Don't sleep also. If anybody added, then it is good. Some are added. Paleshwari, Ishwar Singh, Ishwar Shakawat, Kajal Kumari, only two are added. That's a good thing. Yeah, I want to tell about a registry. Better to take a break, guys. I will tell you very easy way. Just give me a 10 minutes.